Hi everyone, welcome to One Stop Mathematical Solution. Today we are going to solve CSIR Net Mathematics December 2014 question paper. In this video we have only dealt with the linear algebra part. First we'll look into the part B questions. Question 27. Let A, B be n-cross-n matrices such that BA plus B square equal to I minus BA square, where I is the n-cross-n identity matrix. Which of the following is always correct? So we are given two matrices here which satisfies this equation. We have to check which of the option is correct. So we look into the concept use. A matrix is non-singular if and only if the determinant of the matrix is not equal to 0. So we will move on to the question. So I am considering that equation BA plus B square equal to I minus BA square. So I am taking this minus BA square to this side. So this implies BA plus B square plus BA square equal to I. So in the left hand side we have B common. So I am taking it outside. So this implies B into A plus B plus A square equal to I. So this equation implies B equal to I and A plus B plus A square equal to I. So B equal to I means it is an identity matrix. So determinant is equal to 1. So we are getting determinant as non-zero. Therefore B is a non-singular matrix. So now we will consider this equation. So A plus B plus A square equal to I. So we have B equal to I, substitute here. So this implies A plus I plus A square equal to I. So from this we will get A plus A square equal to 0. Taking A common here, we will get A into I plus A equal to 0. So from this equation we are getting either A equal to 0 or equal to minus I. If A equal to 0, we are getting determinant equal to 0. So A will be a singular matrix. If A is equal to minus I, we are getting determinant is equal to plus or minus I. So A will be a non-singular matrix. So either A can be a singular matrix or a non-singular matrix. So now we will check for A plus B. A plus B means we are adding these two matrices. So if A is equal to 0, we will get A plus B as I. If A is equal to minus I, we are getting A plus B as 0. So A plus B can be either singular or a non-singular matrix. Similarly, you can see that AB is equal to 0 or minus I. So AB can be either singular and non-singular matrix. So now we will check the correct options. So we only got B as a non-singular matrix. So our correct option is second one. Next question, question 28. Which of the following matrices has the same row space as a matrix 4, 8, 4, 3, 6, 1, 2, 4, 0? So we have to find which of the option and this matrix have the same row space. We will look into the concept used. Matrices have same row space if and only if they have same number of non-zero rows in the row reduced echelon form. So now we will move on to the question. So what we are going to do is we are converting the given matrix into row reduced echelon form, and whichever option is similar to the non-zero rows of the row reduced echelon form will be our correct option. So we will consider this matrix 4, 8, 4, 3, 6, 1, 2, 4, 0. So first I am doing R1 implies R1 by 4. So this implies 1, 2, 1, 3, 6, 1, 2, 4, 0. Here now I am applying R2 implies R2 minus 3 R1 and R3 implies R3 minus 2 R1. So this is similar to 1, 2, 1, 0, 0 minus 2, 0, 0 minus 2. So here I am applying R2 implies R2 by minus 2. So this is similar to 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0 minus 2. Now I am applying R3 implies R3 plus 2 R2. So this is similar to 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Now I am applying R1 implies R1 minus R2. So this is equivalent to 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. So this is our final form in the row reduced echelon form. So we will check which of the option is similar to this non-zero rows of this row reduced echelon form. So we'll get it as the first option. Next question, question 29. The determinant of an n cross n permutation matrix 0, 0, etc. up to 0, 1, 0, 0, etc. up to 1, 0, etc. up to 0, 1, 0, etc. up to 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, etc. up to 0, 1. Here this notation denote the greatest integer not exceeding x. So they have given a permutation matrix here. We have to find its determinant. We look into the concept used. Permutation matrix, I am denoting it as P, is obtained by interchanging the rows or columns of identity matrix. If K is the number of transpositions, then determinant P is equal to minus 1 whole power K, where transposition is the cycles of length 2. So now we'll move on to the question. So they have given a permutation matrix here. We'll denote it as P. So its corresponding permutation sigma can be returned. So I'll say how to write that. So here if we note that the first column of the permutation matrix is the nth column of the identity matrix. So 1 is mapped to n. And the second column of the permutation matrix is the n minus 1th column of the identity matrix. So 2 is mapped to n minus 1. Similarly, 3 is mapped to n minus 2, etc. up to n minus 1 is mapped to 2 and n is mapped to 1. So now we'll check for the case being n even and n being odd. So let me take n is equal to 4. Then sigma can be written as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 is mapped to 4. 2 is mapped to 3, 3 is mapped to 2, 4 is mapped to 1. So I can write this permutation as the product of transposition. So here 1 is mapped to 4, 4 is mapped to 1. So first cycle is closed. Next 2 is mapped to 3, 3 is mapped to 2. Second cycle is also closed. So for sigma, this is equal to product of two transpositions. Therefore, n being even, there are n by 2 transposition. Now we'll consider the case for n is equal to 5. So sigma is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is mapped to 5, 2 is mapped to 4, 3 is mapped to 3, 4 is mapped to 2, 5 is mapped to 1. Write it as product of transpositions. So here 1 is mapped to 5, 5 is mapped to 1. First is closed. Now 2 is mapped to 4, 4 is mapped to 2. Second cycle closed. So for n equal to 5, we are getting sigma as a product of 2 transposition. So for n being odd, there are greatest integer function of n by 2 transposition. Therefore, determinant P is equal to minus 1 whole power n by 2 transposition for n being even and minus 1 whole raised to greatest integer function n by 2 for n being odd. So we can together put it as minus 1 whole raised to greatest integer function of n by 2. So we'll check the correct option now. So the correct option is second one. Next question, question 30. The determinant 1, 1 plus x, 1 plus x plus x square, 1, 1 plus y, 1 plus y square, 1, 1 plus z, 1 plus z plus z square is. So we have to find the determinant of this matrix. So we'll check how to do this question. So first of all, I am changing this element as 0 and this element as 0. So that is easier to find the determinant. For that I am changing R2 implies R2 minus R1 and R3 implies R3 minus R1. So when we do that, this matrix is similar to this matrix. So the determinant of this matrix is equal to determinant of this matrix. So when we find the determinant of this is equal to 1 into y minus x into z plus z square minus x square minus z minus x into y plus y square minus x square. So here I am rearranging the terms. So this is equal to y minus x into z minus x plus z square minus x square minus z minus x into y minus x plus y square minus x square. So we can write z square minus x square as z minus x into z plus x and y square minus x square as y minus x into y plus x. So from this equation I can take z minus x as common. From this equation I can take y minus x as common. So this is equal to y minus x into z minus x into 1 plus z plus x minus z minus x into y minus x into 1 plus y minus x. So here from these two terms I can take y minus x and z minus x common. So this is equal to y minus x into z minus x into 1 plus z plus x minus of 1 plus y plus x. So here 1 and 1 get cancelled, x and x get cancelled. So remaining is z minus y. Therefore determinant of this matrix is equal to y minus x into z minus x into z minus y. So we'll check the correct options. So the correct option is first one. Next question, question 31. Which of the following matrices is not diagonalizable over R? So we have to check which of the option is not diagonalizable. We'll look into the concept used. Upper triangular matrices have diagonal elements as its eigenvalues. This is true for the lower triangular matrices as well as the diagonal matrices. If eigenvalues are distinct, then matrix is diagonalizable over R. Matrix is diagonalizable if and only if algebraic multiplicity is equal to the geometric multiplicity, and it should be true for all repeated eigenvalues. Algebraic multiplicity denoted by am of eigenvalue is the number of time it repeats itself, and geometric multiplicity is found using this formula, which is equal to order of matrix A minus rank of A minus lambda I. So now we'll consider the question. So if we look the options, all the matrices are upper triangular matrix. So the eigenvalues are the diagonal entries. So we know that the option 2 and 4 eigenvalues are distinct, therefore they are diagonalizable over R. So we can neglect 2 and 4 option. So we'll consider first and third option. For the first case, we have 1 with algebraic multiplicity 2. So we have to check the geometric multiplicity of 1. So if we check that, we are getting algebraic multiplicity equal to geometric multiplicity for the first option. So it is diagonalizable over R. For third option, we'll check that. So let me take the third option as A, that is equal to 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 2. So eigenvalues are 1 with algebraic multiplicity 2 and 2 with algebraic multiplicity equal to 1. So we have to find the geometric multiplicity for the eigenvalue 1. So first for that we have to find rank of A minus lambda I. Here lambda is 1, so we have to find the rank of A minus I. So find A minus I matrix, that is equal to the matrix here. So the rank of A minus I is the number of non-zero rows, that is equal to 2. So geometric multiplicity of 1 is equal to 3 minus 2, where 3 is the order of the matrix, that is equal to 1. So we are getting algebraic multiplicity not equal to the geometric multiplicity. Therefore, the option 3 is not diagonalizable over R. Next question 32. Let P be a 2 cross 2 matrix such that P star P is equal to I, where P star is a conjugate transpose of the matrix P, then the eigenvalues of P are. So we are given a matrix P here which satisfies the equation. So we have to find its eigenvalue. We look into the concept used. If A and B are vectors, then norm AB is equal to norm A into norm B. For scalars K and vector V, norm KV is equal to modulus K into norm V. For vectors X and Y, the inner product can be defined as inner product XY is equal to Y star X. So now we'll move on to the question. So they are given P star P is equal to I. So let me take V, a non-zero eigenvector corresponding to a eigenvalue lambda of P. Then by the definition of eigenvector we can write PV is equal to lambda V. Now take norm square on both sides. So this we'll get norm PV square is equal to norm lambda V square. So using 1 and 2 concept we'll get norm P square into norm V square is equal to lambda modulus lambda into norm V square. So if we note that norm P square using the definition of norm is equal to inner product P comma P, and using the third concept this can be written as P star P, and P star P is given to be I. So the norm P square is equal to I. So we'll get in the left hand side as I into norm v square. That is again equal to norm v square. So this implies norm v square is equal to modulus lambda into norm v square. So I'm taking this equation to this side. So this is equal to norm v square minus modulus lambda into norm v square. So taking norm v square common, we'll get 1 minus modulus lambda into norm v square equal to 0. We know norm v square is equal to 0 if and only if v equal to 0, but we have taken v to be a non-zero number, so norm v square cannot be 0. Therefore 1 minus modulus lambda is equal to 0. So this implies modulus lambda equal to 1. Therefore eigenvalues of p are of modulus 1, since we have taken lambda to be an eigenvalue of p. So we'll check the correct option. So the correct option is the fourth one. Now we'll move on to the part C questions. Question 7D. Let A be a real n cross n orthogonal matrix, that is A transpose A is equal to A transpose equal to In, the identity matrix of order n. Then which of the following are necessarily correct? So we are given an orthogonal matrix here. We have to find which of the options are correct. So we'll look into the concept used. For vectors x and y, the real inner product xy is equal to y transpose x. If A and B are vectors, then norm A B is equal to norm A into norm B. For a scalar k and a vector v, norm kv is equal to modulus k into norm v. The rows of an orthogonal matrix form an orthonormal basis for Rn. So now we'll check the options one by one. So first option is inner product ax comma ay is equal to inner product xy for every xy in Rn. So now consider the LHS inner product ax comma ay. So using the concept 1, this is equal to ay transpose into ax. So using the property of transpose, this is equal to y transpose into A transpose into AX, and they are given A to be an orthogonal matrix, so A transpose A is I. So y transpose into I into X, so that is equal to y transpose X. So using concept 1 again, this is equal to inner product xy. So we got inner product AX AY is equal to inner product xy. So the first option is correct. Second option, all the eigenvalues of A are either plus or minus 1. So we'll check the statement. So they are given A transpose A is equal to A transpose equal to identity matrix. So I am taking non-zero eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda of A. Then by the definition of eigenvector, we can write AV is equal to lambda V. Now apply norm square on both sides. So we'll get norm AV square is equal to norm lambda V square. So using the properties 2 and 3, we'll get norm A square into norm V square is equal to modulus lambda into norm V square. So if we consider norm A square, this is equal to, by the definition of norm, is equal to inner product of A comma A, and this is equal to A transpose A by concept 1, and we are given A to be orthogonal, so A transpose A is equal to I. So we got norm A square equal to I. So I into norm V square is equal to V square. So this implies norm V square is equal to modulus lambda into norm V square. So taking this term to this side, we will get norm V square minus modulus lambda into norm V square. So taking norm V square common, we will get 1 minus modulus lambda into norm V square equal to 0. We know norm V is 0 if and only if V is 0. Here we are taking V to be non-zero. So norm V square is non-zero. Therefore 1 minus modulus lambda equal to 0. That is modulus lambda equal to 1. Therefore, eigenvalues of A are of modulus 1. It is not necessary that eigenvalues are plus or minus 1. So, the second option is wrong. If we check the third option, the rows of A form an orthonormal basis for Rn. So, this is correct from the concept 4. So, now we'll check the option fourth one. So A is diagonalizable over R. So I am taking a 2 by 2 orthogonal matrix. So let A is equal to 0, minus 1, 1, 0. So it is satisfying the properties A transpose A equal to A transpose equal to the identity matrix of order 2. So we can write the characteristic equation of this matrix, that is lambda square minus trace, that is 0, plus determinant of the matrix. So lambda square plus 1 is equal to 0. So we will get lambda square is equal to minus 1. That is lambda is equal to plus or minus I, which belongs to Z. Therefore A is not diagonalizable over R. So option 4 is wrong. So now we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are 1 and 3. Next question, question 71. Which of the following matrices have Jordan canonical form equal to 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So we have to find Jordan canonical form of which of the option is equal to this matrix. So we'll look into the concept used. For an n cross n matrix, the characteristic polynomial is given by lambda per n minus s1, lambda per n minus 1, etc. up to minus 1 whole power n sn, where sk is the sum of all principal minors of order k. Note that s1 is the trace of the matrix and sn is the determinant of the matrix. Minimal polynomial always divides characteristic polynomial, and minimal polynomial is the least degree monic polynomial that the matrix satisfies. So now we'll look what is Jordan canonical form. If characteristic polynomial is delta t is equal to t minus lambda 1 whole power n1, t minus lambda 2 whole power n2, etc. up to t minus lambda k whole power nk, and minimal polynomial is m of t is equal to t minus lambda 1 whole power m1, t minus lambda 2 whole power m2, t minus lambda k whole power mk, where mi is less than or equal to ni for each I. Then we can say there exists at least one Jordan block of order mi, and all other Jordan block will be having order less than or equal to mi. And the sum of order of Jordan block for lambda I is equal to ni, where ni is the algebraic multiplicity of lambda I, and number of Jordan block of lambda I is equal to the geometric multiplicity of lambda I. So now we'll move on to the question and check the options one by one. So the first option is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I'm taking it as a P matrix. So we can find the characteristic polynomial is equal to x cube by the concept 1. So we know the roots of characteristic polynomial are the eigenvalues. So we get eigenvalues are of 0 of algebraic multiplicity 3. And minimal polynomial possibilities are x, x square, x cube, because minimal polynomial divides characteristic polynomial. Suppose if I take minimal polynomial equal to x, then the matrix P should satisfy the equation. That is, we have to get P is equal to 0, but we are getting a contradiction because P is a non-zero matrix. Therefore minimal polynomial is x square, because we are getting here P square is equal to 0. So we have a Jordan block of order 2, and all other blocks will be of order less than or equal to 2. So here we have algebraic multiplicity equal to 3. So we have a block of order 2 and another block of order 1. So their sum will be equal to 3. So we have a block of order 2 here and a block of order 1 here. Therefore JCF is 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. By a similar hypothesis, you can show the options 2 and 3 are having the JCF similar to this. So 1, 2, 3 are correct options. Now we'll check for the fourth option. So the fourth option is 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. So I'm taking let this to be a Q matrix. So the characteristic polynomial is x cube. So eigenvalues are 0 of algebraic multiplicity 3. So minimal polynomial possibilities are x, x square, x cube. Suppose minimal polynomial is x, then it should satisfy the matrix. But we are getting Q not equal to 0. So this cannot be a minimal polynomial. Suppose minimal polynomial is x square, then we have to get q square equal to 0, but we are getting q square is a non-zero. Therefore minimal polynomial is x cube for this case, since x cube is equal to 0. So it has a Jordan block of order 3. and we know sum of order of Jordan block is equal to the algebraic multiplicity. Therefore, it has only one block of order 3. Therefore, JCF is 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0. So this is not equal to the JCF given in the question. So option 4 is not correct. So we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are 1, 2 and 3. Next question, question 72. Let A be a 3 cross 4 matrix and B be a 4 cross 1 matrix with integer entries. Suppose that the system Ax equal to B has a complex solution. Then, so given a system here, we have to find which of the option is correct. We'll look into the concept used. If A is an m cross n matrix, then rank of A is less than or equal to minimum of m comma n. System Ax equal to B has a solution, then rank of A is to B is equal to rank of A. If rank is less than number of variables, then we get positions where we do not get the pivot elements, which are called the free variables. For Ax equal to 0, the dimension of general solution is equal to the number of free variables. A equal to 0 if and only if the rank of A is equal to 0. So now we'll move on to the question. So they are given A to be a 3 cross 4 matrix. Therefore rank of A is less than or equal to minimum of 3 comma 4. That is rank of A is less than or equal to 3. And the system Ax equal to B has a complex solution. Therefore, rank of A is to B is equal to rank of A, and rank of A is less than or equal to 3. And we have rank of A equal to rank of A, which is less than or equal to 3, which is less than 4, the number of variables. So now we'll check the options one by one. So I have taken here two options. Ax equal to B has an integer solution and Ax equal to B has a rational solution. So first option is saying whether every solution is integer, and second is saying whether at least one solution is rational. So we'll check with an example. So consider the system x plus y plus z equal to 1, 2y plus w is equal to 2 and z plus w equal to 4. Write it in the matrix form. So we'll get it as like this. So if we see that 1, 2, 1 are the pivotal elements. So we get a position here where there is no pivotal elements. So the position relating to this variable will be the free variable. So W is the free variable here. So let me take W is equal to A. So by the third equation, we'll get Z is equal to 4 minus A, and from the second equation, we'll get Y is equal to 2 minus A by 2. So this is like P by Q form. So Y is a rational number. So we get a rational solution. So every solution is not an integer one. So option 1 is wrong. Option 2 is correct. So now we'll check the third option. The set of real solution to Ax equal to 0 has a basis consisting of rational solutions. So we know that by option 4, rank less than number of variables means we get position is called free variables, and Ax equal to 0, the dimension of general solution is equal to number of free variables. So using those two concepts, so if I take a rank of A to be 0, dimension of general solution, that is equal to number of variables, will be 4. If it is 1, dimension will be 3. Rank 2, dimension will be 2. Rank 3, dimension will be 1. So if we assume this free variables to be rationals, we get a basis of rational solutions. So third option is correct. Now we'll check the fourth option. If B is not equal to 0, then A has positive rank. So let Ax equal to B and B is non-zero. Suppose A equal to 0, then this system has no solution. It is contradiction to the hypothesis given in the question that Ax equal to B has a complex solution. Therefore, A should be non-zero. So if A is non-zero, rank will be greater than or equal to 1. That is, rank is positive. So option 4 is correct. So we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are 2, 3, 4. Next question, question 74. The matrix A is equal to 5, 9, 8, 1, 8, 2, 9, 1, 0 satisfies. So we can given a matrix here, we have to find which of the options are correct. So we'll look how to do this question. So they are given A here. I am finding its determinant. So that is equal to 5 into 0 minus 2 minus 9 into 0 minus 18 plus 8 into 1 minus 72. So when we simplify and find the answer, that is equal to 416. I am prime factorizing it. So this is equal to 2 into 13 into 16. So we'll check the options one by one now. A is invertible and this inverse has all integer entries. Yeah, determinant is non-zero, therefore A is invertible. But A inverse doesn't have integer entries. It has rational entries here because A inverse is equal to adjoint A transpose by determinant A. Determinant A is odd. But here we are getting it as an even number. So it is not an odd number. So option 2 is wrong. Determinant A is divisible by 13. So when we prime factorize it, it is a multiple of 13. So it is divisible by 13. So option 3 is correct. Determinant A has at least 2 prime divisors. So we got 2 and 13 as prime divisors. So we have 2 prime divisors here. So option 4 is also correct. So the correct options are 3 and 4. Next question, question 75. Let A be a 5 cross 5 matrix and let B be obtained by changing one element of A. Let R and S be the ranks of A and B respectively. Which of the following is correct? So they are given two matrices here, A and B is defined based on A. So we have to find which of the options are correct. So we'll check how to do this question now. So they are given a rank of A to be R and rank of B to be S. Let me fix R to be 3. So I'm writing an A to 5 cross 5 matrix with rank 3. So I'm taking this matrix here. And B is a matrix obtained by changing one element of A. So the possibilities of B are 1 is replaced by 0 here, 1 is replaced by 3, and this 0 is replaced by 1. Therefore rank of B can be equal to 2, 3, 4. That is S is equal to 2, 3, 4 for the case R is equal to 3. For the general case R, S will be either it will be equal to R minus 1, S will be equal to R or R plus 1. That is R minus 1 less than or equal to S, less than or equal to R plus 1. So now we'll check the correct options. The correct options are 1 and 2. Next question, question 76. Let Mn of K denote the space of all n-cross n matrices with entries in the field K. Fix a non-singular matrix A is equal to Aij belongs to Mn of K. Consider the linear map T from Mn of K to Mn of K given by T of X is equal to A of X. Then, so they are given a linear map which is defined by this, and note that A is non-singular. We have to find which of the option is true. So we'll check how to do this question. So they are given T of X is equal to A of X. I'm considering the case for n is equal to 2 and generalizing it the case for n. So let A is equal to A, B, C, D. Consider the standard basis of M2 of K, which is 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1. Now I will be finding the image of the basis elements under T and writing the image as the linear combination of the standard basis elements. So T of 1 0 0 is equal to A into 1 0 0 0. I have taken A to B, A B C D. So A B C D into 1 0 0 0. So when we multiply these two matrices, we are getting this is equal to A 0 Z 0. So writing it as linear combination of basis elements. So this is equal to A into 1 0 0 0 plus 0 into 0 1 0 0 plus C into 0, 0, 1, 0 plus 0 into 0, 0, 0, 1. Similarly, find for each of the basis elements and write it as the linear combination of these elements. And now write the matrix representation. So T is equal to A0, C0, 0A, 0C, B0, D0, 0B, 0D. Trace of T is the sum of diagonal elements, that is equal to 2A plus 2D, that is equal to 2 into A plus D. A plus D is the trace of the matrix A. Therefore, for the general case N, trace of T is equal to N into sigma I equal to 1 to N AII, where AII is the diagonal entries of the matrix A. So now we will find the determinant of T. So when we find the determinant, we are getting this is equal to A into AD square plus B into minus CD plus B into minus ACD plus B square. And we simplify this is equal to A square D square minus 2ABCD plus B square C square. So this is equal to AD minus BC the whole square. We have given that A is non-singular, so determinant of A will be not equal to 0. So determinant is AD minus BC, which is not equal to 0. So its square of that number will also be not equal to 0. So we got determinant T not equal to 0. If determinant T is non-zero, then rank of T is the order of the matrix. So that is equal to 4. So for the general case, the rank of T will be is equal to n square. So now we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are 1, 3 and 4. Next question, question 78. Let A be a 4 cross 7 real matrix and B be a 7 cross 4 real matrix such that AB is equal to I4, where I4 is the 4 cross 4 identity matrix. Which of the following is always true? So they are given two matrices here which satisfies this equation. We have to find which of the option is true. So we'll look how to do this question. So A is a 4 cross 7 real matrix and B is a 7 cross 4 real matrix such that AB is equal to identity matrix of order 4. We know that if C is the M cross N matrix, then rank of C is less than or equal to minimum of M comma N. Hence, using this rank of A is less than or equal to 4 and rank of B is less than or equal to 4. And we know that rank of AB is less than or equal to minimum of rank of A, comma rank of B. So rank of AB is less than or equal to rank of A, and also rank of AB is less than or equal to rank of B. Since AB is equal to identity matrix of order 4, we get rank of AB to be 4. This implies 4 less than or equal to rank of A and 4 less than or equal to rank of B. And using these two equations, we'll get 4 less than or equal to rank of A less than or equal to 4 and 4 less than or equal to rank of B less than or equal to 4. That is, rank of A is equal to 4 and rank of B is equal to 4. Now using rank nullity theorem, we know that number of columns of the matrix equal to rank of the matrix per plus nullity of the matrix. Using it for the B matrix, we get that 4 is equal to 4 plus nullity of B. That is, nullity of B is equal to 0. Now rank of BA is less than or equal to minimum of rank of A, comma rank of B. That is, rank of BA is less than or equal to rank of A, and rank of A we got it as less than or equal to 4. So rank of BA is less than or equal to 4. This implies that BA is not equal to 7, not equal to identity matrix of order 7, because if BA is identity matrix of order 7, the rank should be equal to 7, and 7 is not less than or equal to 4. So this case cannot happen. So we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are 1 and 3.